The following program is brought to you by Tiger Media Net. That program being, it came from the DVD collection. Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm going to step back a little bit because the little thing is getting in the yellow, and I've been told it's too hot for TMN. Hello and welcome to the podcast. My name is John Billinger, and this is...
I'm Connor Keating.
And today we have a special guest star to the show, Aidan Hammond.
Hello, everyone. Hello, all listeners. I've been told to join this podcast because I've been told these guys have mentioned me a few times.
Yes, we have. And this is It Came from the DVD collection. Ha! And today's movie is Them. Ooh. So, you have anything to say? To introduce the thing, Connor? You have anything to start off with?
Well, it's not the thing, it's them.
Yeah, we're watching Them, not the Thing.
Okay.
So yeah, this was another movie that we decided to force our good buddy Aidan to watch, and our plan.
Pretty good.
Our plan this don't spoil it. All right, our plan this time was once again to show Aidan a movie that he knows absolutely nothing about. We tried our best to hide the monster. And we had mixed results with that.
Yeah, you see, Them is a movie about giant ants, and now it is very clear from the marketing for the movie and the box art for the movie and everything like that the movie is about ants, but the first third plays out like a mystery. It's like, ooh, what's the monster in the movie? Ooh, even though it's, the audience knows that it's ants, but... I got curious, what would happen if you showed this movie to someone who had no idea, who somehow missed everything? And so that's what we decided to do. But Aidan figured it out pretty quickly.
It took me about 30 minutes, if even.
20.
Yeah.
20, yeah.
I mean, they gave so many context clues. And to be fair, yeah, I believe one of you said that you wanted that in a movie. I
think that's...
I want to be able to figure out what the monster is, even if no advertising is given. I want to be able to figure it out from clues given in the movie.
Yeah, I think I said that because, when it comes to, twists and things, you don't want a twist to just come out of nowhere, unexpected. It's there's no sort of, I think a good twist is one that you don't necessarily see coming, but on a second rewatch, you, see the pieces, and it's oh!
Yeah,
now, here, Aidan was able to figure it out.
Like Darth Vader being Luke's father. You can see the pieces.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I know, everyone's seen that movie.
Yeah, but you can see the pieces, when you rewatch the movie, as opposed to, say, Godzilla versus the Thing, where it's just suddenly a giant moth.
That's not much of a twist, though.
Yeah, but the U.S. marketing for that movie was just what's the thing?
Yeah, that's a movie where they actually did try to hide one of the monsters.
But one of the posters made it look like a giant squid, if I recall.
Yeah.
Which would be a very good Godzilla movie, though, if they ever did that. Anyway, Them was made in 1954 by Warner Brothers and was their follow-up to the 1953 film The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, which was one of the first 50s monster movies. In fact, that one was one of the inspirations for Godzilla. And this one was originally supposed to be in 3D to cash in on the 3D craze. It was also supposed to be in color, but then Jack Warner thought to himself, I don't want to make a color movie, and I don't want this to be 3D anymore. So no 3D and no color.
Honestly, I think that was probably for the best.
Yes, but it's odd though because the opening title is in color.
Yeah, that's where they said, all right, we'll have one thing in color, make it red title, it looks cool, okay.
They ran out of budget.
The executive said, you get one color.
You get one color.
Okay,
make it count. Red.
Red and blue.
Yeah.
Because of the shadow.
Yeah, there's a little bit of,
That's where 50% of the budget went.
Yeah, I was probably a last minute type thing. So, Anyway, but, yeah. So, what are your general thoughts on the movie?
This is, I think, one of the strongest 50s monster movies out there, right?
Oh, I should mention, one thing I should mention before is, this is also, I think, the first 50s monster movie where it's giant insects.
I'm trying to think if that's true. Yeah, that seems like a fair...
Unless if you count the lost spider pit scene from King Kong in 1933. But that scene doesn't exist anymore, so it doesn't count.
Doesn't count. But yeah,
plus spiders are arachnids. You're gonna make entomologists mad.
All right. So this movie's overall
That's a bad word.
Pretty solid.
We're gonna have to censor that.
Gonna have to censor that. Make sure to censor it with the ant screams.
I'm not gonna do that.
Do your best ant scream.
Loser. Alright.
Alright, stop.
So, it's a solid movie. I say it's up there with classics like the original Godzilla, the Giant Claw. It's up
Creature. You put the Giant Claw on.
Alright, like the original Godzilla, Giant Claw. That's probably like top 3.
Well, you also have to include, like Beast and 20,000 Fathoms. And
they're
from the Black
they're in the
Moon.
7 out of 10 range. This is one of the stronger 50s monster movies. Aidan, as somebody who has never seen this movie before, what did you think of it?
I thought it was a pretty good movie, honestly. You guys have shown me quite a few older movies.
Well, I've only
a few older movies.
Well, what movies have we showed you?
We showed Challenge,
Lost Skeleton of Cadaver,
Lost Skeleton,
which is from 2002,
which was meant to look like an old movie. So
Ape vs. Monster, which was made in 2021.
I think it was 22.
You know what? Anyway,
it was 21.
We showed you one old movie,
and then we showed you the monster that minorly inconvenienced a small portion of the world.
Yes. I thought it was a very good movie, much more higher budget, I believe. I don't know the exact budget. I'm sure John might have that somewhere if he doesn't.
If you want me to look that up
real quick. Pull up your Wikipedia page. Why isn't it up?
1 sec. Okay, all right. The movie had a budget of, it does not say. The Wikipedia page doesn't
There
say.
was no budget. This was filmed in a backyard.
Who doesn't put the budget on a Wikipedia page?
Yeah. Anyway, the movie... I liked the mystery aspect of it, and the fact that you guys didn't tell me the monster left me to try and figure out, okay, what is this monster based on context clues? Okay, the monster likes sugar. It has some kind of acid. And
the scientist in this movie was played by the same guy from Miracle on 34th Street who played Santa Claus. Oh my god. Okay, continue.
The title of the movie then made me think, it's some kind of hive mind or something. So I was like, okay, what kind of monsters might have hive minds? Ants, sugar, it all connects.
Yeah, and then there's this scene where there's a tipped over bucket of sugar and it's covered in ants. I'm like, oh man, that's gonna give it away.
And yes, that did very much.
Yeah. But I think, we probably went a little too hard, don't look at the screen, Aidan! Turn around!
Before we started the movie...
Don't look at it, Barry! Keep your eyes shut!
These guys were telling me, don't look at the screen, look at the wall, look at all the posters John has of movies on his wall.
I need to get a poster for this movie. It's a good thing I did not buy the poster. I thought about buying the poster during the summer. It's a good thing I didn't do that.
Turn around and then there's just a poster behind it.
I think if you guys would have been either more casual about it or had set the movie up way in advance, before I got there.
I expected John to, but then he didn't.
But
I should have told you.
To be fair, I do arrive very early to things. I usually arrive 5 to 10 minutes early to things. It's just habit. But if you guys probably would have been more casual about it, I probably wouldn't have looked too deep into the mystery.
I should have told you that the movie was about killer pumpkins or something like that.
Yeah, them dang pumpkins.
That would be a twist right there.
The pump killer.
Dude,
Imagine if that
movie's called It Conquers the World.
Isn't that it's just a pumpkin that keeps growing and growing until it affects Earth's gravity and
actually
it's into the sun.
It's the spin-off. It's actually the spin-off to It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
I thought it was going to be Spookly the Square Pumpkin.
Yeah, I was thinking Spookly the Square.
Thank you for sharing my thoughts.
I don't know if he knows that movie.
Do you know Spookly the Square Pumpkin?
I don't know what that one is.
It's a very terribly animated
children's film from 2009 or something.
I want to watch this thing.
For some reason, I'm picturing the same thing is that one Halloween movie with the little girl in the fairy outfit that goes into a monster world or something, enters a house on Halloween or something.
Coraline?
No, I could be going crazy. Listeners, you might know what I'm talking about.
The one from Cartoon Network, probably
I think
the poorly animated one.
Yeah, the very poorly
I know
animated
which
one.
you're
Yes,
about.
I don't remember the name, But
Post down the name of the movie in the comment section below.
Is there going to be a comment section?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
We get one comment per video usually. Sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
You guys are hitting it big.
Yeah, we're hitting it big.
Yeah.
All
Thankfully, we haven't had any death threats yet.
Your average is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 30 views a pop. It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
No royalty.
So let's actually get back to the review.
Yes, talk about the movie.
But yeah, I think it's a good movie. You know, this was one of the earliest '50s monster movies I saw as a kid. I had it on a double feature with Beast, and I always liked it. Good movie, and it also inspired a sci-fi project I want to get going one of these days. I think I've talked about it to you, Connor.
Probably.
Yeah.
And it also inspired another little sci-fi project. I don't know if the listeners know it. It's a little movie called Aliens from some obscure director named James Cameron.
That's a long title.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
very
movie.
similar plot. Aliens has a very similar plot to this movie. And just
I think it's like
just
a
like
direct
Alien
inspiration.
also has a similar plot to It, the Terror from Beyond Space.
Yeah.
Yeah, those movies are basically just rip-offs of these.
Those crappy movies are all just rip-offs.
Yeah, stick with the real deal.
You sound like some, like, I did it before it was cool kind of thing. You
it's
sound like
true.
one of those.
Well, it's...
Well,
Yeah, just like
come
how
on.
all these movies did the whole feminist thing way before it was cool. True
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, after all, in this movie, the main killer ants that people are worried about are the queen ants because they lay all the eggs. Hashtag feminist.
I was more talking
Well, I mean,
about...
here's the thing, though.
our
Did the
main
Queen Ants
chick
really
things.
get any kills? I don't...
No.
No, they
No.
probably did.
Oh, they did on the boat.
They did on the boat, yeah.
Yeah,
Did
the
they?
boat. Mhm.
I thought those were just, like, worker ants that did
No,
that.
the ones that flew. I think it was like both the males and
I
the
thought they
queens.
had, like, a nest on the boat or something, and they...
No.
Oh.
They like flew onto the boat and then they took off.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
Anyways.
So anyway, let's start with the story. And Connor, I'm going to give you the summary on the story.
Oh, because I always take way too long. So basically, there's these cops. They find this RV and a little girl. Little girl's traumatized.
Dun, dun, dun.
They find the little girl then the RV.
Yeah, they find the little girl down the RV. The RV has been ripped open, but like pulled open, right? Not pushed in. And so this is all confusing. The police are trying to figure out what's going on. And then they find a shop, you know, like a little roadside
Little
shop.
Bon Paw shop.
Yeah. Torn up as well, same way.
There's a note.
Owner's dead. His guns are all smashed and torn up. He was filled with acid. Yeah, they're like left to wonder what's going on. One of the cops is killed by whatever it is, and then they bring in these scientists, and the scientists like they lead on like, oh, we might know what it is, and the police officers are just like, would you just tell me what the heck it is? And like, oh, we gotta be sure. And then they're attacked by the giant ants, and then they have to like find the nest, destroy it. But when they get there, they're too late. The queens have hatched and escaped, and so now it's like a race against time to figure out where these escaped queens have gone before they can build a new nest and begin spreading all over the world, and then they kill everybody.
Yeah. See, unlike most 50s monster movies, these ants are not destructible. They're actually very easy to kill once you know how to kill them.
They're not destructible. That means they're indestructible.
They're not
But
destructible.
they're destructible.
They are, yeah.
Though, to be fair, I think
Grammar.
there are a handful of 50s monster movies where the monsters really aren't that strong.
But it's not a lot, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
It's like, well, like Tarantula, like that movie just ends with, okay, here comes a single fighter jet, pow, 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 and it's dead. And that's just like, some of the movies end a bit anticlimactically, but yeah, here the ants are killed by like machine guns and flamethrowers.
And I think that's good, honestly.
Well, I think it works.
It's variety, too.
It works here because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, because it's ants. Yeah.
Whereas something like Tarantula, it's like, you know, the whole film, like the tarantula is just kind of, it's able to do
it's
its
a single
thing.
solitary threat.
Yeah, it's able to
Yeah.
do its thing because nobody finds it, but then at the climax, it's killed kind of anticlimactically. Giant Gila
Yeah.
Monster is similar. It's like, it's kind of by itself, and then they ram it with a car full of explosives, and then it dies. But here, like, an easier to kill monster works because, yeah, there are a lot of them.
Yeah. And, I mean, the main threat of the movie isn't necessarily the ants. Well,
It
they
is
need to kill the
individual
ant.
ant.
It's not an
Yeah.
individual ant. It's a bunch of
It's-
ants, and the threat of multiple ants multiplying. So there's more of a it's more of a ticking clock type of
Yeah,
thing.
so
than-
they're unkillable in a way that it's hard to get rid of ants in real life, you know, because there's just so many of them.
yeah. ants. And, you know, a true story. Once I think I told you guys this yesterday, but once I opened up my mailbox and there was this just
Yes, you
giant
did.
ant colony inside there, and it was kind of cool, but it was kind of like shoot.
Yeah.
Did you just like get like a firecracker and just like?
No, we just like pesticide, that kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you know, you discussed this yesterday. You know, they have a hard. They threw carbon monoxide into the anthill.
Yes.
And you were like, why don't they just dump a bunch of poison sugar in there?
Yeah, because
it would solve the problem pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, they made it very apparent that the ants like sugar. They tore apart a whole trailer for it. They knocked over a giant barrel of the stuff. It was very apparent
To be
they like
fair,
sugar.
they never ate the sugar.
What?
Like they never ate the sugar.
I mean, we never saw them eating sugar.
Well, it was always left over.
I mean, yeah, it was always left over, but we can...
That's how ants work.
Yeah, ants and horses. They both love sugar cubes. It could have been giant mutated horses for all we knew, but yeah, whatever.
That was funny. It's horses.
Giant horses.
Done. So you just think the story was good? I mean, I think it is a very solid story. You know,
and I like, you know, a lot. One of the issues with a lot of other 50s monster movies is that they're very slow paced and you don't get much action until the very end. But the nice thing here is that we have that suspenseful build up at the beginning where we don't see the monster, but there's stuff going on and it's interesting. Then the ants are revealed and we get the nice action scene where they're in the hive, you know, having to shoot out with them, and then we get, you know, a final climax. So I like that the action is well distributed throughout the film.
Yeah, and what I like about the first third of the movie is it's like a mystery, and I really like those 50s like noir type films, and not to say that this is in that same vein. But it's what it reminds me of.
An ant in a trench coat and a fedora just pulls out like a Thompson.
We actually watched a movie like that once.
What?
We did!
What? What kind of Bugs Life stuff is this?
It was a Cold War movie.
It was called Mant. Anyway, that is a reference to a previous episode. For esteemed fans.
Yeah, for all the it came from the DVD collection heads.
Yeah. So, what about you, Aidan?
I mean, like I said earlier, I like the mystery aspect of it. It made me want to figure it out, and I would say the very escalating tension as they figure out, like, oh, these ants have moved. They're moving all over. This is becoming a bigger issue than we thought. We need to do something about this. There's a crazy guy in an insane hospital.
There's two crazy guys in an insane hospital.
One was in a drunk ward.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
And...
Make me a sergeant, give me the booze. Make me a sergeant.
Make me a sergeant, give me the booze.
Like, yeah, no, like, foot the booze? Like...
No, give me the booze.
Like, pay for the booze bill or something?
Yeah.
I think it was foot the booze or something.
But he switched back and forth.
Yeah, he switched back. It doesn't matter. But yeah, no, we eventually find out, they go in the freaking sewers.
Yeah, in the LA tunnels, which is also where the climax of LA Noire takes place.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
It's just like H-Man. An alligator from 1980.
It's just like Batman fighting.
You know what? This movie is just a bunch of little bits taken from other movies.
You know how
there are no
even if it was like from
everything's
after.
You know how everything's a JoJo reference? Everything is actually a them reference.
Society.
So what about the effects? Did you guys like the effects?
Effects are very good.
Yeah, I think I was honestly very impressed with like the ants themselves. Like
Yeah,
the
it's a
models.
very impressive.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's a model. It's more like a very
It's a big
elaborate
puppet.
marionette
costume,
puppet,
whatever.
but it's very well done, very articulated. And
Yeah,
it looks like how you would expect an ant would look like.
One of the issues with some of like the life-size props, because it's like you get the life-size props and then you get the stop motion. But one of the issues with some of the life-size props usually is that they're very stiff and they're, you know, they don't move quite that well. But here they move pretty good. They walk like when their legs move at the right time, you know.
Yeah.
And I also dig that we've got a number of them all.
There's at least 4.
Yeah, there's at least 3 or 4 puppets all on screen. At one
I think
time.
in the nest, yeah.
Yeah. And
Where are they now? Who knows?
Yeah,
they were probably destroyed.
it creates some pretty cool scenes where you've got people, you know, staring down all these ants in the tunnels, firing their machine guns, lighting them on fire. Like they destroy some of these puppets. It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it is very good effects. And the ants look like ants. It's not like what's that one?
Like
Monster
the
from
that
Green
challenged the
Hell.
world.
Oh, no,
those are supposed to be snails.
Wasp. No, I was thinking of Monster of Green Hell, where they're supposed
Like
to be
it's a
wasps.
tree?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what? Hello, and welcome to the re-recording. So some weird thing happened while we recorded the initial version of this. It just stopped recording like 19 minutes in, and so it really cut out what we were talking about. So, yeah. What do you guys think of this, huh?
It's an unfortunate tragedy.
This is all John's fault.
I blame
It
the
is
computers at Hammond myself.
Nah, I blame John.
We're gonna execute him later.
No.
Skin him.
No.
Great. All right. Well, we kind of lost where our train of thought was talking about the monsters. I think I was going to say that the ants look like ants, not like, the monster that inconvenienced the world where they look like snails. Where they're supposed to be snails, but they don't look like snails.
Yeah.
Yada, 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 yada.
We already reviewed that.
Yeah. Let's just get this through. Let me get the outline. Okay. So let's talk about
I think we're at acting. No, yeah, we were at the characters because we actually skipped over them.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, characters. Yeah. Good solid characters in this movie, right?
There's a lot of fun like side characters. Like you've got the kooky scientist. You got the
Kooky drunk.
Yeah, you got the kooky drunk guy.
Make me a sergeant. Kooky scientist, honestly.
Yeah, sure he was. He was like didn't want to put on the goggles and stuff.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah. And he also has like the idea
but...
that it's ants from like the start of it, or it's implied. That
yeah. So he's a little eccentric.
We all have our.
I wouldn't say he's crazy.
No, he's not crazy. He's not crazy. Like make me a sergeant, give me the booze.
Yeah. Kind of like that guy. And I remember you said it the last time that we have an example of a
strong female character.
Yes.
Yeah, an actually good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to like our main trio, I thought the two guys were just kind of meh.
Yeah, they're just like they're just two.
They got it done.
American
They got it done.
heroes.
Yeah. They're not like unbearable. It's just that they
were cops or were they detectives?
One of them was a cop.
Yeah,
and
one of them was
an
a cop.
FBI
The other
agent.
one was the FBI agent.
Okay.
G-man, I should say,
Yeah.
as they would say back then.
But yeah, and then you got like the chick who like some of these movies you might think they scream, they faint, they get carried away with the monster. Here she's like running into the tunnel to like get right up in the action.
Yeah,
She's there to fight. Honestly, she is.
She's a lover. She's a fighter, not a lover.
She wants to punch the ants in the face.
Punch them.
That would. I don't know. That might hurt. Honestly, I'm trying to think. I mean, ants have pretty hard shells, if I'm not mistaken. So if they were the
it's
size,
pretty easy.
Would you say they're the size of like a cow, roughly?
In this movie, yeah, I think they said
I'd say a little bigger than
punching a cow-sized ant. That would hurt.
I'd say they're a little bigger than a cow, but yeah, it would still probably hurt.
And then there's the greatest acting in the whole movie are three kids.
Yeah, I remember we talked about this. We talked about the little girl in the movie at the beginning of the movie. She's honestly pretty good.
Yeah, she's traumatized by the ants, so she has this like stone cold expression, and it works for this, right? Yeah. And then you have the freak out scene when she smells the ant's acid.
That whole opening scene. Yeah, that whole opening scene I really liked because it was. I'm pretty sure it was just dead silent with her like kind of walking towards the camera, clutching like a broken doll with a stone cold face. Like that was honestly good on her part.
It's a chilling opening, right? And then you have the other two kids at the climax who get saved.
Yeah, and one of them is like vaguely trying to act, and the other one just doesn't care at all.
One was promised ice cream, the other was just there for exposure. He's just there.
He's got the same stone cold expression, except here it doesn't work as well. I think he's more like, I don't know. He just looks bored. He looks bored more than anything.
I think I made the joke last time that they're probably like the director's kids or something like that were just dragged there.
That would surprise me.
Hey kids, you want to be in a movie? But yeah, overall the characters are good, and everything. All right, so we talk about the effects. We talk about the characters, I guess.
And I think we're at final thoughts.
Yes, final thoughts on the movie.
It's one of the stronger 50s monster movies. I'm not sure if I said it in this recording, but right, you got original Godzilla, you got
you did say this
giant claw, and then you got them, and right, that's the maybe them is a bit better than the giant claw, but still, those are the top 3 50s monster movies.
What rating would? How about you, Aidan?
I think I would give this movie 7 out of 10 anthills.
Hey, that's my bit from my reviews. Stop stealing
That
it.
sounds-
Yes, that's actually my bit.
That sounds like a John Carter Jr. type thing he would do in his reviews.
Well,
John, I literally do that in all of my reviews.
Oh yeah, you do?
Yes, I do that at the bottom.
Well, I forgive you.
there are no original
I'm so
ideas.
sorry.
There are no original
I
ideas.
give this movie a 9 out of 10.
I give this movie the same rating, 9 out of 10. It's one of the best 50s sci-fi films. It's certainly one of the best giant insect films from that time period.
I think it's by far the best giant insect film of that time.
Yeah, it's better than oh god, what was
Monster Charms the World.
yeah,
Black
the monster
Scorpion,
from Green Hell.
Tarantula.
Yeah.
The Wasp Woman.
Rodan.
Yeah.
Rodan kind of
Yeah, Rodan
has
counts. It's got the bugs.
Meganula.
It's got the Meganula.
Yeah. It's Meganula?
Meganula. No, it's Meganula. It's like...
Well, then
Okay,
there's
do I need to go into Godzilla lore?
All right,
So you got the
it's,
Meganulon,
okay.
who are real, and then you have the Meganula, and then you have Megaguirus, and that's the queen. Right? This is all explained in Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. Anyways.
So anyway, we might have we might have to invite Aidan back as a guest star if we ever do Godzilla vs. Megagyrus.
Oh, you gave me...
What?
Don't ever pronounce that again.
Megagyrus?
Megagyrus?
How do you say it?
Megaguirus. It's like Anguirus.
I always thought it was Megagyrus.
Write it up on the board. How is it? Or is there a mark?
He's gonna write it down. Oh
Yeah,
no,
write
he's
it down.
looking
How is it
He's looking
pronounced?
it up. Okay, yeah, here we go, boys.
I will judge your pronunciation based on the fact that I actually like English classes and I liked grammar, so
Let's see if this will...
Let's give it time.
It's London is loading.
London is loading. Oh, it's Godzilla.
You monster.
No way! That
Monsters.
anyway, we can do this later. I think we need to
Yeah, we should
close
probably
out
this,
the,
yeah,
Let's
close
wrap
out
this
the
up.
recording.
Wrap this up. All right. Well, that's it for now. Join us next time for The Land That Time Forgot. You have any final thoughts, Aidan?
If you guys invite me into the movie, I'm looking forward to it.
Well,
is there
we're
any
gonna
mysteries
have
that
you
know
as
about?
a guest star for now. Viewers at home, go down in the comments section below and tell us if you like Aidan or not, and we might include him in new episodes. We'll
They don't
see.
like me.
Or
Well-
if we should break his legs.
What?
Well, then this
That's
is your
been
last
excessive.
episode if they don't like you.
Oh no.
Any final thoughts, Connor?
Nope.
Okay, well, goodbye. This podcast was produced by John Billinger and Connor Keating. The movie covered, Them, was produced by Warner Brothers. This has been a Tiger Media Net production.